Hello guys, it's Kolade. In this video, I will share with you 7 of the most popular questions I've received on LinkedIn, our community, Instagram, with respect to how to get a graduate job here in the UK in 2023. So let's dive into it. So before answering the questions, I'd like to thank you guys for getting me to 500 subscribers. Listen, I can't thank you guys enough. I'll be looking through my phone. So the first one is, when is the best time to apply to graduate jobs? And I can confirm to you that the best time to apply to graduate jobs is September, because there's actually a recruitment cycle with respect to graduate opportunity. So September is the peak period. However, some companies start recruiting from like July, but 80% of the opportunities you'll be willing to explore would start in September. So my top advice is for you to strategically prepare yourself mentally, physically for the September application. So if you come into the UK as an international student in January, the best time for you to apply is September, because the opportunity will be available for you next year. So recruitment here in the UK with respect to graduate jobs is usually 1 year in advance. So the best time for you to apply is September. Also, if you leave it late, you can also still get opportunity. It doesn't mean you won't get opportunities, but it just means that you'll be left with what is left. I don't know if that makes any sense, but whatever is left is what you get. However, there are also some roles that are usually on a rolling basis, meaning all year long, there's a high chance that you will see these opportunities being advertised. But you should also know that many companies, once they fill that position, they will actually stop application. So the next most popular question is, can I apply to a graduate opportunity even if I have a T1 in my BSc? So the answer is yes, you can. Even though that in many graduate opportunities, they will usually ask you that you should have a T1. But recently we've seen a few of the big four saying that, okay, if you have a 2-2, you can still apply to us. Which I actually don't understand why you would think that if someone have like a third class, they cannot do the job. So I mean, if you have a T1, even if the company still requires T1, I mean, I've seen real life situations where my friends had like a third class 2-2 and they were still able to get to the big four. So what you have to lose, if you have a 2-2, if you have a third class, go for it. Even some companies write in their job application that they don't just look at your academic performance, they look at your whole application. So it's fine. I advise you to apply. That's it. The next most popular question is, I've been getting rejection mails. What can I do? Listen, rejection is real. Breakfast is real, especially when you get to the last stage, assessment center, which is the final round interview and all, and the company just called you telling you you didn't make it. That's why I'm very opportune to be here to share this kind of information. I actually made a video about the top 7 strategies you can actually use in getting a job opportunity. It worked for me. I was able to get job opportunity in just 1 month. So of course, watch this video when you can. So my advice for you is sit back. And in this part, I particularly refer to a few key strategies. So what you want to do is to make sure you step back, analyze, and see where you're getting it wrong. Many of these companies give feedback. The most annoying thing, however, is that some companies don't give feedback in the earlier stage, which I understand anyways. But once you get that feedback, for example, in the assessment center, you want to look through and just make sure you reflect on it. One mistake people also make with respect to this question is that when you're actually rejected, they go create another email and they reapply. Some companies just let you do your thing, then later they reject your application. I've seen a situation where someone was offered a job and the company rescind the offer, telling the person that you've applied more than 1 time in the recruitment cycle, because many of the companies will tell you that you can only apply 1 time in a recruitment cycle. So I beg in the name of God, do not go and create another email applying to job opportunity. So ideally, the next time you'll be applying, some companies will tell you 6 months, some companies will tell you 12 months after the time you've put in the application. So that's what you want to do. Take it. There are a lot of companies out there that are willing to recruit you. So don't look at one company rejecting you. Just keep going. The next most popular question is, how do I know companies that can sponsor my visa? Well, as an international student, we all know for a fact that you need a tier 2 visa sponsorship. So you don't want to waste your time. Time is money. And luckily, I have a free PDF document that you can actually use in tracking the top companies that can sponsor your visa. The UK government provided a list of over 20,000 companies that can sponsor your visa. But the fact that a company have a sponsorship license does not mean they would sponsor. So I've seen situations where people get to the final round interview, they got the job offer, and the company were like, oh, at this time we can't sponsor. So I've created top 40 companies based on my research right now that would sponsor your visa. So download it. In the link to it is in the description box below and also in the comment section. The next most popular question is, do I need experience to get a graduate job? You don't need any experience to get a graduate job, literally. I mean, because they require that you have 0 to 2 years experience. Now, what I mean by this is the fact that even if you don't have experience, for example, let's say you apply to, let's say, consulting or audit, graduate job opportunity. Even though you've never been an auditor, they don't even need you. They want to train you. They want to mold you to make sure that you can actually fit their work culture. So that's what they're looking for. They're not looking for the end product. So you don't need experience. They are looking for someone that can show some attributes, that can show some values. So what you can do is volunteering, extracurricular activities, and you can have this on your CV, because you don't want your CV just empty. As an international student, we have part-time jobs. You can put it on your CV, but imagine you just do, for example, care, and you just put that only care on your CV. It works, but you want to go beyond that. So look for volunteering opportunities, look for extracurricular activities. In my own case, I was lucky to be the sport director at my uni, and I joined some societies. So I put this on my CV, and it helped me massively. Long story short, you don't need experience, basically. The next most popular question I get asked is, do you advise I switch to a care visa or I take the post-study route? This one is very complicated. My advice is that you follow your mind. But I'll tell you one thing, only you know what you really want. Sometimes I understand, you're just trying to secure yourself. My top advice is for you to make up your mind on what you really want to do. If you are just saying, oh, I want to do care, or if you are saying you want to go the professional route, then you have to decide. If you go for example, if you go for the professional route, that's why I advise that you start applying right now during your program. And that's what I did. So luckily I had the opportunities before I even finished my program. So what you want to make sure to do is to proactively apply to job opportunities, learn it. It's like a skill in itself. Getting a job is a job itself. So you want to put in that work, and I believe it will pay off. But if you are doing this and you see that you're still not going to get a job, because let's be honest, there's a high chance that you also won't get a job at certain time based on some situation. So I would advise you go on post-study if you have the money though. You can go on post-study. It gives you that time, it gives you that opportunity to even do some experience, because there are also some companies that don't need to sponsor you and you can still work with them on post-study, and from there it gives you that breather, then you can still apply to opportunity. So my top advice is that 1 year into the post-study opportunity, you are seeing that nothing is happening with respect to the professional job you are looking for. Okay, then you can look into the care route, especially if it's something you've done before. So that's my advice in this one situation. If you want to go for care, go for care. If you want to go the professional route, you can do it. The next most popular question I get is, when filling the online job application, what should I put in the A-level segment? Now, because we're actually international students, especially we that actually come from Africa, we don't do A-levels. I actually know for a fact that Nigerians don't do it. So in our own case, we just do WAEC and we go to uni to start our BSc. So in this situation, you can just put your WAEC result in the A-level segment. If you actually also have like a pre-degree, you can put it there. If you have like your 100 level first semester, not even if you have put your 100 level first semester in this segment. So there's no need to panic on this one. Just put your WAEC result. Later on in the application, if the recruiter need any more personal information with respect to your academic credentials, they will ask you. So that being said, I'm very passionate about helping international students get the job they're actually dreaming about. So I'll encourage you to join our community where we actually share information that can improve your chances of success here in the UK. So if you'd love to join this community, drop a love emoji in the comment section, and of course I'll be willing to add you to the group. One more thing though, would you like to know the best CV you can actually use in getting the job you're actually dreaming about here in the UK? Well, watch this video where I actually share the CV that helped me get 2 job opportunities with the big 4 accounting firms and a top tech company in the UK. See you in the video.